them, and they became my friends. So I think
I so agree. I love it.
Welcome everyone to Coffee Break Live. I keep switching around. This doesn't get so great of light either because east is that way. So the sun's rising and it's just never gonna hit me. So
That's okay.
whatever. It's always an experiment.
Yeah.
But I am Jordan. I'm the co-founder of Macro Kitchen, and I'll be talking a little bit about that today. And the co-founder of Identipop, which is a creative and product development agency.
I am Laura DiFrancesco. I am president of Dean Street Law and Flourish Westchester.
Welcome, guys. I'm so excited about our topic today. If you follow me or follow Laura, you know that we are obsessed with health and fitness. So we're going to be talking about recipes, about nutrition. But before we get into that, we're going to do our usual what's brewing. So I want to ask you, Laura, what are you drinking today? And if you have any highlights from last week or something you're proud of, anything that's going on this week, and then also what you're reading.
Absolutely.
I don't know if you can see. I don't know if you can see him. I know on my other camera he's walking around. So if you see Rocky walking around, he's joined us today as well.
Oh, hi, Rocky. Today I'm drinking a juice shot. It's a Mighty Turmeric juice shot. So if you'd like to join me for a swig.
Ooh. This is not turmeric.
Yeah. And I'm also drinking celery juice. I found it at Trader Joe's. I think it's pronounced Suja, but it's pressed celery juice, and the only ingredients are celery juice and lemon juice, which was amazing because I love celery juice, but it's honestly too hard and complicated for me to make every single morning. So those are my two for today. And in case you missed it, I am so excited. Last week, we've gone public with Flourish Westchester. It is a lush, sustainable, and pet-friendly co-working space here in Westchester, Pennsylvania. If you're interested in checking it out, just DM me your email and I'll shoot you some free day passes to check it out. It's opening in the fall of 2019, so in a couple months. And this week, that's what we're working on. Tons of exciting stuff for Flourish. We're planning out our whole launch weekend, which will be a really fun weekend filled with tons of speakers and some networking on the terrace, maybe even some aerial yoga. And this week, I'm also focusing on having a great moment each week, each day that makes me really happy. I went hiking with my mom yesterday with our dogs, and that was so amazing. And this morning I did a multitasking with a walk and a face mask at the same time to get pretty for today.
Ooh, I like that kind of multitasking.
I know, it was fun. And then I'm working on improving my morning experiences. So the book that I'm reading this week is Miracle Morning by Hal Elrod. It was recommended by Skinny Confidential.
Nice. Well, first of all, I'm so excited about the co-working space, and I've been following the Instagram, so please follow them. They just commented right now. Actually, I'm joined in as Macro Kitchen, and that's how I'm going to drop links for some stuff later. So gotta multitask. But yeah, so I'm really excited about it, and you guys have been posting a lot of plant inspo too, which is like getting me excited to just make my space look a little bit more lush too. I like it.
It's our aesthetic. It's our feel. We love our little plant babies.
Oh my gosh, I love that one. Yeah, so I am drinking coffee, and I put today in it. It's called Malibu Milk, which I don't know why I find it funny, but I find it funny. And it has no allergens. It only has 6 ingredients, and it has a lot of great fiber and also omega-3s. And I don't know, it has a little bit of cinnamon in it too. So it just it feels fancier than some of these other alternative milks. So last week, I posted about it last week, but I kind of had a realization that I was kind of not setting the best boundaries with some of my work. So I've been trying to, schedule in a lot more self-care and just better boundaries in general with my work, because I could just be working until 2 a.m. I don't really have a clear time of like when I'm starting or finishing. And what was happening is I was just kind of getting a little caught up in it. So I talked about that on a post, but this kind of leads into what I've been reading, and I kind of took a little bit of a break from reading as much. I did read a good chunk of Pitch Perfect, which was actually really good, but I was looking at some webinars on design sprints, which I use at work, but I'm trying to kind of reframe how I work in general. So I'm just kind of changing my process a bit by changing that up, making it a little bit more fun, making it more quality time. It'll help me get better at my work, and it'll also help me schedule my own life a little bit better.
I love that.
So that's what I've been. So I've been doing that. So that's been my my webinars have they replaced my reading so much for last week.
That's all right. And we're still doing our lifestyle design. We're actually pushing it back to this coming week. So if you would like our lifestyle design worksheets, just DM us and we'd be happy to send those to you.
Totally. And in lieu of what we're focusing on this week, I'm just going to take a couple minutes just to talk to you guys about, we're actually starting a challenge/contest tomorrow for Macro Kitchen. And it's relating to, Macro Kitchen has to do with recipes and nutrition. So I felt it was a good time. And actually, we didn't know we were going to be talking about this till yesterday. So it ended up happening to coincide. So we're giving away 1 year of our full access membership on Macro Kitchen to someone that just takes a video or a photo or a set of stories of one of our recipes. Just to let you guys know a little bit about Macro Kitchen, because I know I mention it always in the beginning, but don't explain what it is. It's a meal planning platform, but right now we're really known for our advanced recipe search. We're basically a recipe search on steroids. So if you've ever had trouble looking for healthy recipes online, and maybe you've had trouble, because you want to look for we focus on searching by macros, so carbs, fats, proteins, which are your main energy sources. That's really hard to search for.
It is so hard as a vegan, I can tell you that.
You basically have to go to a specialty blog, because I've eaten vegetarian before and also paleo. So I would just go to their blogs, but then I was stuck only eating that specific way. I wasn't necessarily finding what fit me personally, or I didn't really get to try different, sets of macronutrients. It was really either carb heavy or fat heavy, or I just wasn't getting enough protein. So this is a great way to be able to hit those goals and then find recipes that you actually like. So in our free version, you can search by the carbs, fats, proteins. It auto calculates to calories. If you know calories pretty well, it'll auto calculate those. It'll also give you the balance breakdown in percentages. So if you're typing in the grams, you can see how many calories are coming from a particular source. So whether it's fat or carbs, whatever. So whether you're keto or you're following something, prescribed by your doctor, like low fat, or you're just, like you were saying, like a vegan or somebody who's eating in a particular style, but still wants to pay attention to those, you're able to search them. So in that version, you're going to get 10 recipes back per search, but you get unlimited searches. But in the full access version, you get some extra stuff, and you'll be getting more recipes back. You can search by ingredients to include. So let's say you're about to run out of tomatoes or something, or they're going to go bad, and you want to use them right away. You can type tomatoes in, and it'll show more recipes.
I love that.
With tomatoes. If you just hate something like, I don't like, mushrooms or something, you can type mushrooms in, or type scallops, whatever you want to avoid. So you can type that in. It won't show you things, or it'll rank them further down.
Or for me, you could avoid beef, chicken, pork, all of the common ones. Also, if you want to filter for vegan, I know that you have other filters as well, but that's a good way as well.
Yeah, that's what we've been doing. Just the reason why is because not all recipes online, because we have 475,000 recipes.
Which is
and this
insane.
is from Food Network, blogs, everywhere. So the little guys, big guys, and we also link to the original sources too if you want to like read more of the background. They're going to give you more on the cooking tips aspect and like the sourcing and the story. We're like a recipe card basically. So you can just kind of save it and make it. But I really do suggest you go to the original site too to kind of, especially if you really like it, because you might like other recipes from them too. We're just trying to be a resource and a search. But yeah, I mean, there's so many other filters you can use too. Like you were saying, you can also filter by intolerances. So I usually do gluten-free and dairy-free just because those tend to hurt my stomach a bit. So that really helps. So I'm only seeing recipes that I want to see. So yeah, so I mean, I think it's great. And you can also save unlimited amounts on the full access as well. So you can just come back to it later. So
how do you enter?
Yeah, so you'll get a full year of that just by entering, and quickly kind of like it's not really rules, it's just so we know that you're existing in this. Basically, you would follow Macro Kitchen. I think I should wave in a second. And what you'll do is just share on your story that you're going to be participating. We're going to share that anyway, and we just want the community to kind of surround you, you know, in that, and like we can do, it's just fun to do together. And so after you do that, you can sign up. It's a free account. You can just sign in using Facebook, Google, I think LinkedIn, whatever you want to do. We don't spam you. We're just going to send you probably a couple emails in the first couple of days just to be nice, to show you how to search in case you don't know, or you can ignore us, it's fine. And it's free, so there's no worry about it. It's not even a trial. You can just be free forever if you want. But you can, after you do that, you can search for recipes. You can DM me if you need any inspiration. You can go to our Macro Kitchen Instagram page. We have one of those cool link in bio things, so you can scroll pictures, and if there's something that looks tasty to you, just click on it. And I'll be sharing a couple recipes in this live today. So if you want to make one of those, that's totally cool as well, whatever you'd like. And then after you make it, just make sure to tag us and then put the title so we know what it is, because I mean, who knows what's in chili, to be honest with you, unless you tell me what it is. It could be like a vegan chili or something else, but it all looks the same. So if you can tell us what it is too, so when we share it, and we're gonna, if you can submit that by next Thursday, it can be anytime during next Thursday too, is fine. And we'll announce it on Saturday, August 31st. So yeah, so let me know if you want to join. I just wanted to throw that out there because it's a wellness productivity tool for me. It allows me to find these things easier. And plus it's just like really fun to make recipes with people sometimes. I know we're about to get into this, but like, I think the biggest thing is people feel like they don't have enough time to prep and make recipes and
find recipes, which is hard.
Exactly. So we kind of are addressing one things with you guys. I love stir fries too. I just tried chickpea pasta like last week, and I really enjoyed it because it was literally one ingredient and it was really
such a good substitute.
It was such a good substitute. I was really happy with it. Other go-tos that I have, I'm just gonna like, I'm just posting them in as Macro Kitchen just because it's a little bit easier. But one of them is, I'm posting these are actually in Macro Kitchen too. So there's a couple links here. One is, that one is an egg. I like to make either egg, or you can do an egg substitute, like baked, like in a muffin tin. So that's how I can get rid of some like extra, you can even put it in a frittata pan. Get rid of some extra veggies or ingredients that like I just have some extra that I need to get rid of. So I just will actually just put it in there and bake it. And it's so good for on the go too, because you can just grab one or grab two, whatever you need. And I just love that because it's very easy and they're kind of fun because it feels like you're baking like actual muffins.
But you're making 20 at a time and it's super easy for on the go.
And it's so great for a snack too. If you are just, just grabbing it to, if you're in the middle of the day and you just want to eat one, it's really filling. It has a lot of protein and you're not going to have to worry about like really assembling something. I also have, this is a link to, I made a ropa vieja with Cuban style cauliflower rice.
Ooh, mamacita.
It was so good, and I'm from Miami, so I'm gonna be picky about ropa vieja, and it came out so good. And you can even use this again, like if you want to make a vegan version, you can use the same spices and just substitute that in. You'll have to kind of recalculate some of the macros on it, but you can usually figure that out by going on MyFitnessPal and looking up, you know, the one ingredient that you're substituting, and you'll figure it out. But that was so good. At one point, I didn't even eat the rice. I didn't even make the rice one of the times. I just like ate the ropa vieja myself.
So good.
But that's the good thing too is I'm gonna share also a blog that has a bunch of tips on meal prepping. Like I put 25 together. I was like really intense about it. So I'm sharing that. But a couple things I suggest are finding ingredients with similar finding recipes with similar ingredients, because then, you know, just in case you're not wasting as much if you're seeing like, oh, you need a particular, I don't know, something that you need a whole bunch of and you're only going to be using half of it, but you're kind of forced to get the whole bunch. You might as well.
Green onion. That happens to me all the time.
Oh my
gosh.
One
recipe requires green onion, and then the rest.
And then the poor thing just ends up in the trash because it's going to get gross if you don't use it. So that's one suggestion that I have. And what else? I would say I like one pot things a lot of the time. Those are great. And then just in your space, make it fun. I mean, I just like set up a little area where you're going to be doing your prepping. Listen to a podcast. I mean, that's a great time to listen to a podcast. Have your dog and, you know, dance with your dog in the kitchen. Invite some friends over. It's really fun to make something together, and it's easy to choose on a lot of these places. You can just make something together, and it's really fun. And then it's just, I find it to be a self-care activity. I like knowing the source of my food and, you know, kind of like where it's coming from. A lot of times with restaurants, you don't necessarily know what they're putting in it, and making it yourself, it's like another skill. You can be confident about it and you can share it. It's like for this contest, just take a picture of it. It's awesome. And like, no one's going to be like, oh, you took a picture of your food, because you freaking made it. So I think, I love meal prepping, and I've just posted some of the other tips, but there's so many different things that you can do. I think it's really about just being intentional about it and making it fun, not making it so much of a chore. Mm-hmm. And, you know, just picking your recipes strategically. If you can try to batch certain ingredients, or make all the grains together at one time, you'll get better at multitasking too. So a couple things are going at once. I'm sure if you made 30 something meals at once, you had a couple things going at the same time.
Oh, for sure. It was 4 or 5 different recipes. Yeah.
And I want to give you guys, actually, this is, a recipe pack we gave out in the beginning when we started Macro Kitchen. I hope this works. And this has the full recipes in it. So you can just download it right now, and it has the full recipes with pictures and everything. So I'm going to send that to you guys too.
So cool. Are these the tray bakes, the tray meals?
No, these are not the tray meals. These are just, I just wanted to put together something quickly. We'll do a tray meal one on Macro Kitchen soon, but these are just some recipes. And I believe there's at least a vegan or a vegetarian in there, I believe. But this was right when we started. We just wanted to share with people like some of our favorites. So they have some good ones in there if you guys want to use them. So I just wanted to share a few of those. Make sure to check out the blog too, because there's 25 different things. And these come from me and from you know, people who meal prep like for contests and stuff. So they're like on it. So yeah. So so when you're looking for recipes too, where are some places that you go, you know, for your sources, or where do you get to go for like more either education on, you know, nutrition or fitness, or where are you getting some of that inspiration to live a healthy lifestyle?
Absolutely. My number one favorite inspiration is at Sweet Green Soul. That's actually my sister, Lindsay. She's absolutely amazing. Oh, one moment. Lindsay is absolutely amazing. She has so many vegan options, and I literally scroll through her feed and add things to my cart on Amazon Prime now. I do all my grocery shoppings from her feed. I also love Whitney Simmons, Tone It Up, and The Skinny Confidential. Whitney Simmons has awesome YouTubes with workouts and quick recipes. I substitute all of the proteins or non-vegan items for vegan items. There's so many easy meat substitutes and dairy substitutes, so that's really easy. Tone It Up also has a ton of clean recipes on their website, and they have a great nutrition plan. And then the Skinny Confidential has an amazing podcast on fiber that I highly recommend. It's podcast number 94 or 95 or something. Check it out. It's so good. Fiber is so important because it helps attach to the protein and carbs in your body and helps your body digest them. So it's really good to pair fiber with all of your protein, basically all of your meals want to be high fiber. So that's really important to me. And then I also love Clean Eating Magazine. I don't track calories or macros because I've been doing clean eating for so long that I'm very intuitive and I know approximately how much everything is. But just to give you my breakdown, I have about 50% carbs, which is about 200 grams of carbs, 30% protein, which is about 120 grams, and then 20% fat, which is about 50 grams. And I always try to get at least 100 ounces of water, which is a daily struggle that I work on every single day. But I do it more of a breakdown of trying to use every single meal as an opportunity to fuel my body with the nutrients that it needs. So for breakfast, I start with my green smoothie. Then for lunch and dinner, I usually eat the same thing as we've talked from meal prepping. And it's usually 2 servings of veggies, a serving or 2 of a clean grain, whether that be whole grain or chickpea pasta, something like that, and then a serving or 2 of vegan protein. So that's generally what my meals look like, and I feel comfortable eating as much as I like, because when you eat as much as you want of clean, healthy, whole foods, plant-based nutrition, there's nothing wrong with that. So I love to think of abundance and opportunity rather than any restrictions. What are yours?
So speaking on that, that's why I love, like, I know sometimes with macros, they'll get like a bad rap or with calories, but it's really more so for me about information. And it's like you said, you've been clean eating for a really long time. Not a lot of people have. So it gives you an idea of what fuels you, and you can watch kind of how your body responds to different things, because everybody's body is different. So making sure, like you were saying, you're getting the micronutrients that you need at every meal, taking your vitamins. I know we both take Ritual vitamins.
Yes.
Making sure you get in, I love the green supplements. Those are so great. And when you're hitting those, then I'm just more of I like experimenting with different things. I've done some, I'll talk about it in the fitness part, but some of the bodybuilding things, and sometimes I will switch up my breakdown just to kind of fit whatever I'm doing at that particular times. And I also use, I've kind of learned, and it becomes more intuitive too, when to time certain things. So I will be timing like carbs a little bit more, or faster digesting carbs closer to my workouts, because I feel a lot better while I'm doing them, and I notice a better result from them. And this type of proteins that I pick too will be different around the times that I'm working out. So things that are easier for me to digest at that time, and then other times might be a little bit different. So I think really it's about, like you said, it really is more about what you can add than what you can subtract. And it's really about being empowered with the knowledge of the nutrients. If you want to know more about the macros or the calories, that's great. It's not a be all end all of anything. The nutrients in general are more important, but macronutrients are still a nutrient, and that's why we track them. And the reason why I love them is because you don't have to be losing weight or gaining weight or have to eat in a certain way. There's no restrictions. It's really just for information. And I log too, also just to see how things affect me. Like I said, with the breakdown, or sometimes it might be something I ate and it bothers my stomach. I have a lot of stomach issues. So sometimes tracking for me is also just an awareness of what I've been eating. But you can do that.
I so agree.
In so many different ways. I do actually have, for people who do want to who do want to track, we did send out it was like a free PDF that like auto calculates if you're making a little menu for the week.
That's
So if you
cool.
enter the macros, it'll like auto calculate at the end like what you're having at each meal. So you can put in each of the ingredients or you can put it for the whole meal, whatever you'd like, and it'll auto calculate.
That's an awesome tool.
And I just like having sometimes a menu up because it, I don't know, makes me feel fancy. And you can also just see what you're eating that day. So, or if you like need to make something or you need to assemble something, you're not like, wait, what was I wanting to eat right now? You just can kind of look and be like, oh yeah, I forgot. I like bought this stuff. Cause sometimes it's like, you're in a hurry. You don't want to be like, I don't know, thinking too much, but, other things that I'll just like, I like assembling things too. I love eating a lot of like veggies at lunch too. I don't know. I just feel like it's like my favorite time to have like a really big like salad with a whole bunch of stuff in it. And like I put like the hemp seeds. I like using Primal. They have like Primal dressings, and they have a lot of ones that I eat into. They're really good, and they just aren't fake tasting, but they have healthy fats in them. So you're not, you're not going to be looking at like lower calories necessarily, but you're going to be getting really, really clean, really clean dressings. And yeah, I think they're great. And I think just when you're prepping things, you just have to find what you like too. I mean, that's the whole point of why we wanted to search for a lot of this stuff is you want to find what you like. I tend to like a lot of Asian dishes. So, yeah. So, being able to find like Thai curries and stuff on there. I mean, I'm like, hello, this is like, I'm in love. So anything like that is really great. So, but I love that you brought that up too, because I do think that the more you know about your foods and the more you prep them and make them, you get to like know more about what you're actually putting in your body. And I don't think we do that enough, and not in a bad way, in a really empowering way. I think you can use and find things that make you feel better, and it really affects your work, the rest of your life, how you feel, how you interact with people. So, and I love what you said about the green smoothie too. It starts your day off right. So I think finding whatever that is to start your day off right. And for me, a lot of times it's like, sometimes I will have a green smoothie, and I also, that's when I take my vitamins. That's when I, make sure to get my day started well. And I like having, or even if I just have some of the greens and some water, at least I'm starting with something. Oh, and for water tracking, I downloaded this thing called Plant Nanny. I thought it was for my plants, but it wasn't. It is hilarious. Basically, you have to keep a plant alive by drinking water. I mean, I guess you could lie, but for me, there's like either a guilt factor or it's so cute. So just letting you guys know, it's been helping me drink water because it's so cute. I don't want the cute little plant to die. So I like keep track of my water. So I love doing that. And there's little additives. I wouldn't suggest adding too many like fake sugars or anything to your water, but there are things like you can get even some fresh lemon or making it fancy with a little mint or something. Just do it. I mean, if whatever makes it work for you. And I'm constantly dehydrated, and I drink water, and then I look at myself later. I'm like, I had such a bad day because I was dehydrated, and I can't believe that was what it was. So
it makes you tired. I also love Nuun hydration tabs.
Oh, I use them too.
They have been super helpful because the electrolytes help with the absorption. So if you're dehydrated, think of rainfall falling on a desert, and it's just going to wash off. It's not going to be absorbed into all of your capillaries and everything like that. Whereas if you have electrolytes with Nuun hydration or something else, then the water is being absorbed into all of your organs and your skin and your body, so that it's actually able to use the water that you're giving it.
Yeah. Oh, I'm just going to grab something quickly. These I just got. These are great for, sorry, I'm just like running around getting stuff. These are like, if you're more, I wouldn't do this all the time because they have a little bit of sugar, but if you are feeling in a desperate mode, I've gotten these. They're at Whole Foods. It's called Liquid IV.
I've heard of those.
Just got them. They have a whole explanation on why it's important they use this thing called CTT, cellular transport technology. So it has the basically it's nutrients that are working together to for better absorption of the of water, and like you were saying, for it to really nourish your cells. So I like using that. It does have a little bit of sugar, but in those cases where I'm feeling like extra dehydrated and just chugging some water isn't really helping, I'll put one of those in there, and it really does help. Or I suppose if you have like a hangover, it's probably really good.
Oh, I've heard it's really good for hangovers. It's also really, really good for travel. When you're traveling and flying, you get so dehydrated. I am attached at the hip to my hydro flask at noon while I'm traveling.
We're going to be getting into some fitness things, but I am going to this spinning class on Friday with someone, and it's a heated class, which I have no idea why someone would do that, but everyone loves it. So I'm going to go try it, but I am putting one of those in my water. I am not going to I sweat a lot when I'm spinning anyway. So I don't know what's going to happen there, but I'll let you guys know how that goes. But I'm definitely putting one of those in my water.
We're thinking of you.
Yeah, totally. But I wanted to ask you, on the fitness front, what are some of your favorite, either you can even include here if there's any accounts that you like, but what do you like doing, and are there any apps that you like using or anything to support kind of your fitness journey? Because that's another thing that I think people say, like, I don't have enough time for that. And I've been guilty of that in the past too. Sometimes it'll go by the wayside if I'm not paying attention, but it's like probably one of the most important things to me. So I want you to tell us what you do to kind of get fitness into your day.
Absolutely. It's super important for me because it helps me manage my anxiety, and it's also really important because it's so good for your mental health. I try to schedule as many workouts as I can in the week, 5 to 7, and workouts are very general to me. That could include going for a hike, hitting the gym, cycling outside, going for a walk, anything active, horseback riding or swimming. Right now I'm training for an Ironman, so I'm doing a lot of running, biking, and swimming. I absolutely love Training Peaks, which is an app with training plans for running or triathlons. They are absolutely awesome. I also have a watch that's geared for triathlons and multi-sport. It's called Suunto, and they have an app, Suunto app, which is really good as well. But if you're not into that, more generally, I absolutely love Fitbit. I have used Fitbit for years. I think it's a really good way to incorporate movement and making sure that you're getting some movement, because it's crazy how sedentary our lives have become. I love Alo moves for yoga and handstand practice. If you've seen, I'm doing a handstand challenge. And I love, for weight training, Whitney Simmons. She is so bomb. She's so great. She has tons of workouts on her YouTube, but also just on her Instagram. If I'm at the gym and I'm looking for an exercise, I'll hit hips or shoulders or whatever area I'm looking to target. And working out with someone helps me stay so much more accountable. I know I'll always feel better after a workout. So even if I can only make it for 10 or 15 minutes and then I need to leave, I think that doing something is so much better than doing nothing. What are yours?
I love all of your suggestions, and I've used Fitbit before. I actually use my Apple Watch now because it works pretty well with it. It also measures steps as well. There's even an app called StepBet. So if you want to put money on it, you can put some, because sometimes you need that. it's like I'm somewhat internally motivated to do extra steps, but I think, a lot of times it's not just, we go and work out, but then we're sedentary for the rest of the day, and that's not necessarily good either. So sometimes if you put a little money on it, you might be more inclined to do it. Or it's just if you start focusing on it and you make goals for it, you can do it too. But I'm just letting you know, because I just think it's funny that you can put money on it.
I have this at my desk.
Oh my gosh, I love
so
it.
that I'm not sedentary during the day. It's
there's a cycling chair that just came out. Like you
no
can
way.
sit on it. Yeah, like you can sit upright on it. There's like ones that attach a desk too. It's, oh my gosh, it's hilarious. I was actually tempted to get it.
I want to get a treadmill so that I can do emails while I'm on my treadmill.
Yep. And then I want to get a bike for the house, a spinning bike or like a Peloton bike, because I live on them. I love, like, that's probably been my most consistent exercise has been either spinning classes. I did some training for it when I was a little younger. So, so I know how to like choreograph for them. So sometimes I'll just go to the gym and find a bike and just like listen to my music and then just do my own thing. So I look like a crazy person, like jumping up and like doing intervals and stuff. But whatever. I just think it's a great, I think it's a great workout. And I am a part of a gym, a local gym. Sometimes it's hard to find gyms that you love, but I am part of one that I do really like. I like the culture there. I've made friends there as well. It's a very like calming atmosphere. There's people who are really serious about what they're doing and just people just wanting to get in shape, and they're really helpful if you have any questions. The coach there, he trains a lot of people who are in competition. So he's very knowledgeable about everything, making sure people are not getting hurt. And, you know, I really have pushed myself a lot further there, and I enjoy doing strength training, just depending on kind of the season that I'm in. If I'm feeling more of doing more things outside the gym versus not, I'll usually do that anywhere between like 2 and 4 times a week. I'll be doing more strength training, and then I like incorporating spinning, hiking. Sometimes I do like doing, right now it's a little warm, but I probably would do it if it was early enough. And I'm trying to get into some more things. They have actually boxing there now, so I invested in some bright pink, and I've been
You keep going.
Okay. So I've been doing that more often. So I've been doing some boxing, which is really great for upper body workouts and cardio. Oh my gosh, my dog is barking. Laura, my dog's barking too.
Oh my gosh.
He must have heard. He's like, I can hear him. He's like, he's
Just
growling in the corner.
They're like, guys, we need you to come hang out
You've
with
been
us.
on this podcast forever. That podcast, on this live forever, which that's fine, whatever. This is like one of our biggest topics ever. But yeah, I mean, and then other things I use are ClassPass, so I can try new places. I love it also for travel. So if you want to try a studio somewhere else or just get gym time, I know I've mentioned it before. They also have ClassPass Go. So ClassPass Go is great because you can actually get their heart rate band and like earn points and see like how you're doing on the screen, or watch one of their replays. And they have kind of a mix of everything. And I love your suggestion for yoga, because I've been going through a few yoga apps and I'm not always a fan of them, but I want to incorporate more of that because I've noticed I need some more like restorative work, because I get so tight, and
I just need to stretch it out and like let it go.
I like foam roll myself all the time over here. I just like constantly. And I got one of those, it's not Theragun, it's a different, totally forgot the name of this one, but it's like the competitor brand, but it's, I got that just to kind of warm up muscles, or if I'm feeling a little tight, that actually, it really is worth it. I invested in that, and I've been really happy with it. So yeah, for fitness, to be honest, like you said, I think if you just show up and find things that you like, you don't have to torture yourself. You don't like doing something, no one is forcing you to do it. It's better to just move and do something. Like, there's a place that has trampolines. You want to go jump on them and, you know, run around it.
Some flips. I love doing flips.
That too. I I'd be so scared to do that. But yeah, I mean, whatever is your thing, go do it. And aerial yoga, I will say, I love aerial yoga. So if you can find a studio that does that, I mean, that's just like heaven. You just like float around after a while. But I was like hanging upside down. I had a great time. So just find what works for you. And then I also want to mention, I forgot to mention it earlier, if you follow at Denver's fitness dietitian, I'm obsessed with her. She's like one of our partners at Macro Kitchen. She's not just a registered dietitian, like boss, knows all the science. She also is a fitness dietitian too. She teaches some classes. So she's really one of those special people that understands the clinical side and the fitness side and knows a lot about the muscles in the body too. And she's very approachable. She's very no BS. So like, she's not into fad diets, any of that kind of stuff. She is into science. So I really suggest you following her. She's been going on a bunch of morning shows too, and she uses our program to plan for some of her clients, which I find, I mean, that's just an honor for me because I think she's so awesome. But she's such a great resource, and it's not just because she works with us. I was following her prior to, and I love people that are here for everyone and who are non-judgmental. She doesn't even call things cheat meals, which I love.
I agree.
It's everything's your choice. There's
Every
discretionary
day.
calories. Like, don't skimp on your other nutrients. Like, if you're gonna have a meal that's different, still get all of the nutrients that you need in, and just enjoy yourself. Don't try to skimp and, you know, miss out on other things just because you want to eat something, you know, that maybe is lower nutrient density that night. She's just so smart. So definitely would suggest following her. But anyway, I know this has been a long one, but I think
It has.
this is like one of our passions. So this is an ongoing conversation forever and ever. But I just wanted to say, like, thank you guys so much for tuning in, and I really hope that you'll join the challenge this week. You can go on Macro Kitchen. Will be posting it tomorrow, so you guys are knowing a day early or a day ahead. But it would be really fun. I'm going to be doing it. Obviously, I'm not entering it, but I'll be doing it. So if you have any questions, or you want any suggestions, or you don't know, you know, well, what numbers maybe should I be looking at, or what kind of breakdown, I'd like to find something. I'm working out at night and I want something post-workout, I can give you a few ideas. So that'd be awesome if you could join us.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining us this week. I hope that you all found it really helpful and informative. We tried to share as many of our health and wellness tips as we could. Join us for the Macro Kitchen Challenge at Live Lovely, Dean Street Law, and now at Flourish Westchester.
Woo! I'm so excited. And you can find me at Jordan Chadsey. You can find me at Macro Kitchen, and you can find me at Identipop as well. And if you want any of the links, I know if you see a replay, you're not going to see the links. If you want any of those, you can DM me or DM Macro Kitchen, and it's still going to be me probably either way. So I'll send those over to you. And don't forget to drop a coffee emoji on one of our latest posts. You can even drop it on a Macro Kitchen post if you want, so I know you're checking us out.
Yeah.
And join us next week. We'll be here at the same time. It'll be 11 Eastern, 8 Pacific. And thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks for joining, everyone.
For them, and they became my friends. So I think
I so agree. I love it.